Okay, here's the thought. I used to get, well, what I want to talk about is, really quick, is fear. Being afraid to do something. Being apprehensive to do something. And everyone kind of knows that this is what you have to do, and a lot of people, they make excuses, and they have to get the right tools, or they have to get the right setup, or it's just procrastination really is what it is. And I mean, I've done that a lot myself, where I feel like I need to do enough research before I can jump in and do something, whereas in actual fact, you just need to jump in and do something. And I used to get really I get nervous very easily. I used to get very nervous about when I first started shooting stuff for other people on my own, kind of being in charge of things. I used to be very nervous that things wouldn't go right, something would go wrong. You know, what if this happened? What if that happened? What would we do if we couldn't get enough people? There were so many unknowns and what ifs that it would just stress me out just thinking about it, and I would never do anything really. We'd plan a lot, we'd talk about it, but then nothing would ever happen. That changes once you have to make a living for your family and such, of course. And you learn you just have to just jump in and do it and see what happens. Now the beauty of it is, a lot of times there's always a positive outcome to something like this. If for some crazy bad reason you've totally flopped and your project just dies, you know, it was a total flop and it was terrible, then, you know, that's a bad thing, but the good thing is you've learned from it. I remember from when I was in grade school, I was homeschooled, but I was in the grade school age. Okay, that's a whole other story. We'll talk about what's going to come another time. But I remember we learned about Thomas Edison, and one of his famous things was he'd try one thing to make a light bulb, and if that didn't work, then he knew that was one other thing that didn't work, so that there were so many, you know, one less possibility to get in his way of achieving his goal. And that's kind of a lot of times how we have to look at things, is if something goes wrong or doesn't work out, that's one more thing that we've learned about, and another thing that we can avoid next time. There are some things I wish I could have, you know, learned from other people, working under or working with other people. I could have learned a lot from their mistakes, previous mistakes, but I feel like I've learned quite a bit just jumping out on my own and doing things. So my thought today is that if you're afraid to do something, or apprehensive, or you know, you're kind of the person who wants things to work out. I'm kind of a perfectionist in a lot of ways, and I want things to work out just as I see them. And so basically what I'm just trying to say here is that you need to just jump in and do it. If it's a question of whether I should do it or not, do it. If it's something that you've been thinking about doing for a while, it's a fun project, or trying to meet someone, or whatever, you don't know until you actually just jump in and do it. And that's one of the most important things I've learned, I think, in my short lifetime so far, is that you never know until you do, and if you don't do, you're never going to achieve, you're never going to learn, you're never going to get better. So that's my thought for today. So get out there and do, and don't be afraid of, I don't want to say don't be afraid of failure. You can be afraid of failure, but I'd rather be afraid of not doing anything, because if you do nothing, then you've gone neither forward nor backwards, and there's nothing worse than staying still in life. If you stay still in life, you don't experience anything, you don't feel anything. So get out there, feel, experience, try, do, and all those fun things and stuff. Actually, I should write a self-help book. There you go.